What's up YouTube, it's your boy here, coming at you again with another video. I didn't do one yesterday, obviously, because I said I'll be doing one every 2-3 days. So this is the second day after the Last of Us video. So here I am to talk about another game, which I reckon we'll talk about Far Cry 5, because I like Far Cry and I recently finished playing it on the PS4 for like the 4th time. So let's talk about that. Obviously, I have the Father Edition that I pre-ordered from Ubisoft Store when it came out. It's pretty good. Good statue, soundtrack, steelbook, map, all that. So, yeah. In my opinion, it's not that bad of a game. It's a decent departure from the formula from Far Cry 4. Like, it's a bit more open world. You've got, once again, a silent protagonist, which I'm not really big on the silent protagonist because I feel like you can't give as much personality to the silent protagonist as you do, because from 3 and 4 you had people, protagonists that talked. Primal, I cannot remember for the life of me if it's a silent protagonist or a normal. I only got like halfway through it and I was like, you know what, I don't like it. Far Cry 5 was okay. I do like the buddy system, how you can do certain side missions and get like animals or people to help you out, and you can use them, and some have good things, some have bad things. Like there's one you can get to like snipe from, like there's a buddy you can get from far away to snipe enemies with silence, so you can do that. There's big bears you can use, like Cheeseburger, that's her name, to do that. Like they have advantages and disadvantages, but today we're going to talk about Far Cry 5 and my opinion on it. So if you don't know Far Cry 5, it's basically a big church cult thing. Like, you're gonna take out the father, so like the priest guy. I don't know much about church, but the father's like the head of the church or whatever, and your mission is to take him out because you got some intel that him and his family are corrupting people. So you got him, and I believe you've got 3 other people, Faith, Jacob, and someone else. It is a bit repetitive in the missions, much like Mafia 3. But when you get to the killing of the person, like in Mafia 3, it's a bit more unique and different. So you start the game, you're dropped into this church, you're going to arrest the father. And it's one of those things like in Far Cry 4 where if you sit there for too long and don't do it, you get the different ending or whatever. But then you arrest him, you go take him away, there's all shouts and screams like, you can't do this, he's taking the father. You get shot down in a helicopter, the father gets rescued, and you have to abscond. And obviously the 2 policemen that you were with get captured, so you have to rescue them throughout the game. But you're just going to outposts and camps and oh yeah, that's just my hand there in the shadow, because I got like right there the shadow of my hand, because I tend to do hand movements. So basically you just have to, there's like a power thing, like it's split into 3 districts sort of things. Each section of the map is controlled by a person. And like I believe like Faith's one's like the lowest at like 5,000 or something, and the other ones are like 7 to 10,000. So basically you get intel for the area, you kill people, you liberate outposts, you do certain things to get the power going down. I believe you do it, and then as the bar goes down like 2 or 3 times, you get little missions with them where they like drug you or with them. And then you get to the final one where you actually kill them, which I find like it's fine, but for it to be done like 3 times, it's just a bit much. I feel as though 2 times would have been enough. So it's like you do 2 of them at the same time, and then you do the father and one of them else at the other time. But it's not that badly done. It's just it could have been done a little bit better. I will say that out of all the ones I've played, I've only played from Far Cry 3 onwards. I haven't played 2 or 3 Blood Dragon or whatever it's called. I only played 3, 4, Primal, and 5, and obviously 6. But the one good thing I've found about 5 is that out of those 4 other games, liberating outposts without triggering, like doing it stealthily without triggering the alarm, is the easiest out of all of them. Like, if you can get your rifle with a scope and a suppressor, you're basically set. You can shoot the enemies, you can shoot the alarm things to not get triggered, all without them knowing where you are. It's the easiest game to do that shit stealthily, and that is one very good thing I like. Because what I find weird about games is that in games where you like have the choice to be stealthy, I can sometimes do that perfectly, like do stealth, but other times it's complete mess. Games where you don't have to be stealthy, I'm stealthy the whole way through. Games where you have to be stealthy, I cannot be stealthy whatsoever. The only exception is The Last of Us, where that whole game, for like 90% of the game, I can do that shit stealthily. But Far Cry 5, I feel, has the perfect thing for the outposts, because in Far Cry 3, I could do some of them stealthily, but then I'd get seen by some enemy and it's like, ah, shit. Same with 4, same with 6. I don't think Far Primal had any, because that was a weird sort of game. But you just get your rifle. I believe it was a bolt action rifle with like an extended mag to hold, I think, 6 bullets. A decent scope, I think a 4x scope, and a suppressor. You find like the highest thing around it relevant where you can see the enemies, and you just pop them off. It was easy, so that was a good thing about it. I do like the unique missions where you kill the 3 family members, Faith, Jacob, and the other guy, because Faith had like the bliss, so like that drug thing, and that was, I quite like that, because when you encounter enemies with the bliss, it just means they're a bit stronger, so it's like 2 shots to the head or some shit. But I did like that because she didn't strike me as the one that she was like really like mean, like in the sense that she fully knew what she was doing. She just seemed to me like the one that like thought in her mind that what she was doing was right, but the way she's going about it was wrong. Like, I don't mind those types of enemies, like in terms of bad guys in movies and games. It's just, it's got to be done properly, and it's got to make sense. Like, it sort of does. Jacob, I believe he's the orange haired and beard one, where he drugs you, I think. Basically, I think it's either him or the other one where you've like the final mission where you kill him. You got to go up to this mountain and like kill him, and he's got all these animals and shit coming after you. I cannot remember it for the life of me, but it's not too bad. The gameplay is fine. It's basically similar to 4 in that way, to like you can upgrade your things by like skinning certain animals to upgrade your wallet, your ammo capacity, all that stuff. I don't mind that. I find that quite nice because it is a completely optional thing you can do. Like, you don't have to do it for a mission requirement. Like, I hate it when you get this option to like upgrade yourself, but you can do it whenever you want. But then you get to a mission that's like, we've got to wait till you can upgrade your what's it to be this, and I'm like, why? That's what I like about the Far Cry games, is that you can have the option to upgrade yourself with skinning these animals. It'll just make, if you don't do it, it'll just make the game a little bit harder. You don't have to do it for missions, which I like. Obviously, I did it every now and then. Like, I'll do a few missions, and then I'll go off and look at certain animals and be like, okay, kill, upgrade a couple of things and all that. I like that. I I also like the missions where you get to recruit like people and animals to like as a buddy system. Where I like the animals slightly more than the people because I just find the animals are a bit more funnier with their names and that. I don't mind that. I mainly use the bear cheeseburger or that girl who can snipe people from far away with a suppressor. So like I used to pretend I was like playing online or whatever, and there'd be two enemies there. I'd get her to do one, I'd do the other at sort of the same time. Because I never play online games because the internet here is trash. My parents don't understand jack shit, and I just don't have anyone to play online with. But with that, I could sort of pretend I was playing online, which is good. Um, the open world size was, I feel, a tad too big. When like, sure you could fast travel, but for the vehicle speed that they could go at, sure you had like aeroplanes and that too, but like for the vehicle speeds, I felt like the open world was a bit too big for the speed you were restricted to travel. I don't really like fast traveling in games. Sure, if I'm on a tight schedule, like I need to go somewhere, but I want to play as much as possible. Yeah, I'll fast travel on those rare occasions, but I don't like the fast travel because I like open world games. Like I don't skip cutscenes in games, no matter how many times I've played the games. My brother skips cutscenes all the time, and it makes me want to strangle him. Not really, YouTube. Don't take this video down. But the open world size could have been a little bit smaller, but it wasn't too bad. The like the characters themselves, like the buddy characters, they weren't too bad. Like obviously, there's not a lot of personality in with them, but that's just because they're buddies. They're not really meant to, not really part of the story, sort of thing. They're just side missions that you get them as the reward out of. But when you go to kill the father, I feel like that's like at least they timed it sort of well. Like where you kill the father, it was almost at peak boringness. Like I feel as though if they added another fourth one along with the three, so you kill four then the father, it would have just been I would have killed the fourth person, done a little bit for the father, and be like, nah, this is way too boring. I'm done. I feel like when they put the father and then three others, I feel like they knew that it was boring, but that was the perfect boringness, if you understand what I'm saying. So when you kill the father, it's like, oh shit, that was boring, but I'm glad it's done. So they did time it sort of well, so I didn't mind that as much. But the last mission, it was kind of generic. Like you do the same sort of thing. Like you just kill waves of enemies, wave and wave and wave. Then you get the father, you escape with him, and the world goes kablooey. It's the last mission was almost as if you're taking out an outpost. Like wave of enemies. Like it's like you go to an outpost, you get spotted. They call it reinforcements. You get waves of enemies until you kill them all. I didn't like that. I prefer the other three missions from that because at least they were different. So I didn't mind that. So overall for this actual story of the game, like kill this church cult that's turning people evil. I don't think I've played any games like that before. I don't think I've watched any movies about that before. So it was sort of unique. Like I personally have never seen that before. So it was okay. So I give that like an 8 out of 10. The way they presented the story in like the story missions could have been done a tad better. So about a 7.5. The 4 main bad guys, I won't rank them separately. I'll just rank them all together. Like they were okay. They had decent personality. Like you could understand where some of them were coming from most of the time. Others was just like, well, all right, you say that then, fine. So they were like a 7.5 out of 10. You as a main character being a silent protagonist, coming away from 3 and 4 that had voiced protagonists, I did not like whatsoever. That's just me. I'm not really a silent protagonist person. So that's like a 5 out of 10. The buddies, they were funny. Some of them were funny, some of them weren't. I liked a couple of them, I didn't. So I'd rank them in combined. Okay, I'll rank them in as humans and animals. So the humans, I'll give like a 6 out of 10. The animals, probably a 6, maybe a 6.5 out of 10. The gameplay, like it was just your same basic thing as Far Cry 4 and that, except like you don't have a mini map, you have like a line up the top with the things, which I didn't mind. I quite liked. But it was a similar thing. You got your weapon wheel, you got your 4 weapons. It's one of those things where if it ain't broke, don't fix the thing. So it's kind of okay. So 8 out of 10. So all up, I think we get to about a 7.5 out of 10 in my opinion for it. But it's not that bad. I quite liked it. Far Cry 6, that's a different video. Far Cry 4, that's a different video. But yeah, I hope you like this video, and please like and subscribe. Obviously I can't force you to do it, but as a person who's just starting out on YouTube, and I know I'm not doing well, like I can see my face while I'm recording, it's cringy, I hate my voice, I hate the way I look, even if I shave and that, I can't, like, I know I'm bad. I might get a little bit better over time, but I know these first couple of years will be the worst. So if you could please like and subscribe to support me, that would mean a great deal, and I hope you all have a great day.